I'm Cynthia James, and this network is about changing lives one woman at a time. Hello and welcome to Women Awakening. I'm your host, Cynthia James, and I have the pleasure of introducing you to phenomenal women. And I say phenomenal because each and every one of them has stepped into their power, many times overcoming obstacles to find out who they really are on the planet and who they really want to be and how they want to create success and health and well-being and wealth. And so what I want you to know is that they're way showers. They're not exceptions. What they do is give us possibilities, show us that there's a way for any of us to step into our power, our grace, our light in any way, shape, or form, should we choose to do it and should we decide to bring our voices to the planet. So today, I want you to know that we do these every Friday, every week. You can come back, subscribe, and meet a new woman. We're on Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, Spreaker, Amazon, and video on YouTube. So come back and share the videos and invite other women, because I think it's our time on the planet. We're emerging, and our voices and our energy and our hearts are needed. So my guest today is someone new to me. Her name is Millen Livis. She's a self-made millionaire who went from working as a florist assistant on welfare to becoming a Wall Street executive, to losing it all, becoming divorced, depressed, broke, and yet she was able to beat the odds and become financially independent within 7 years. In her work as holistic financial independence mentor, she combines her traditional and holistic education to help clients become financially savvy, grow money with less stress and less risk, and enjoy financial freedom and maybe even retire early. Millen, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Cynthia. I really appreciate this opportunity to talk to you and to your audience.
I love your accent. You know, you speak French clearly.
Actually, it's a longer story, but thank you for the compliment.
No problem. So, how did you grow up?
I grew up in former Soviet Union. Lithuania used to be former Soviet Union, and in the middle, what I say, like not really wealthy family. Money was always a problem and caused many issues in terms of my parents' relationship, and witnessing that made me develop this scarcity mindset. I was always kind of afraid of money. It was not something positive on my mind. And you can imagine when I decided to leave former Soviet Union and I came to the United States as a political refugee. We started in a very humble way. As you mentioned, I started working as a florist assistant, and we were on welfare for 6 months. And through this time, I was always trying to focus. I was disciplined in terms of where do I put my focus, and I was always focusing on what worked in our life, what we were grateful for. And that helped me to go through very challenging time financially, emotionally. You know, when you're in a new country, it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
And so this attitude and this model of the world that I developed for myself, like be grateful for what you have and perceive what you, if you want more, and I wanted more, helped me to self-teach English within 1 year. And then, I became a IT consultant for Merrill Lynch after 1 year. And from there, I climbed the corporate ladder and became an executive for major Wall Street companies. I worked for Deutsche Bank, Bankers Trust, American Express, and Morgan Stanley. And funny enough, when I actually achieved this, what I call American dream, right? I had a beautiful house in suburbs of New York. I had a family. I had a prestigious job with a nice office with a view. I suddenly felt empty. Not suddenly. I kind of developed this realization that I'm not sure I want to live that way for the rest of my life. My marriage was falling apart for a while, and my job was not really meaningful to me. And receiving good money was just not enough for me to live that way. I felt like I was dying inside. It's hard to explain, but this
Mm-hmm.
weird feeling, like, what is happening? Like, you should be happy. That's what you wanted. And so, me being me, I walked away from my marriage. It was very challenging. I resigned from my, I walked away from loveless marriage, I should mention. I resigned from my very financially comfortable but not fulfilling job. And I was looking to find my new way, my new identity. And because I did not have clarity of mind, I was just trying this, trying that. My focus was scattered. I was thinking, like, maybe I should open a computer school. Maybe I should become a fashion designer because my sister was fashion designer. So I partnered with someone else. In the meantime, I was all over the place, and I ended up going to the business school. It's a prestigious, very expensive business school, the Wharton Business School.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but, I graduated with the MBA, but because it was not intentional, there was no clear intention behind this. I graduated and I said, now what? I don't want to go back to corporate. So I'm sharing this story because I talk to so many people who really don't have this clarity of what is it that they want, what is it that is important for them. And I was this person. So anyway, I what I knew, I was running from what I didn't want to have: loveless marriage, unfulfilling career, but I didn't know, I was not clear what I was running to toward to. And so I decided to take a pause and look, like, what is it really that drives you? What is it important to you? And funny enough, when I finally got still and started thinking and look inside, I realized that what was important to me above all was freedom. And to be free, you have to be financially free. So you can stand on your own without expecting or wanting support from anyone, from some man, from some boss, or from government. And when I realized that freedom would only be possible for me if I become financially free, that's when I said, okay, how can I become financially free? And that's when the idea of developing multiple sources of income came to my view. And I started thinking that way. And that led to me starting real estate investment company. And everything was great. I was doing very well because I got business partners. But then 2008 happened, and I um, witnessed markets crash, my business crashed, and I got crashed with the business.
So hold on before you go on. So this is because you said a couple of really important things that I want our ladies to hear. That if you don't know where you're going, it's hard to get there. So, you know where you came from, you know what you don't want, but if you don't know where you're going, you can't create the life you want. And the second thing that was really important that you said, I think, was you took a pause to really go in and get clear about what was going to light you up, right? Okay, so 2008 is here, then what happens?
So, like I mentioned, my business, it was a very big undertaking, and my business crashed with the markets crashing, real estate markets crashing, and I had to let go of my team. I exhausted my resources because it was not a cheap undertaking, and it was a moment in my life when I was realizing that I'm such a failure. I just felt like so embarrassed. I felt that I wasted the potential that I had, the hopes that other people had for me. I frankly had for myself. And this feeling, I'm such a failure, was so big and so expanding inside me that it became unbearable. I started thinking how to end my life.
Mm,
And by the grace of God, I happened to be lucky enough to get introduced to someone who was a life coach. And when I started talking to him, he said, "You're not a failure. Failure is not a person, it's an experience.
mm,
And it has the beginning and the end." And I was just like, I was so, this phrase resonated with me so much that I felt like I have to ask for help. I always felt like I'm self-sufficient, I'm smart, I have enough experience, etc. And it was not enough for me to get myself to pull myself out of this situation.
mm.
And this coach said, "You've got to work with me." And my first reaction was, "I can afford you." And he said, "Oh, my darling, you cannot afford not to work with me." And he was right. He was my life jacket, so to speak, right? So I started working with him. And as I started feeling better, I released self judgment. I released this unsupportive beliefs that were pulling me back into this very dark place where I almost, like I said, I crashed with my business. I started thinking better. I started functioning better. And my business partners came back because when crash happened, they like, we want out. But I made some really good investments. My business partners wanted to come back and invest with me. And uh, incredibly, miraculously, I made investment that allowed me to be financially independent within 7 years. Again,
Wow.
the key here is multiple sources of income. I really believe that that's the secret to wealth, because so
Yes.
many people put all the eggs in one basket, and it's a mistake. No matter how much you love your business, if you're successful in your business, then take some money, pay yourself, and take this money and invest in some other sources of income, not only all in your business. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like a very, very strategic approach to managing your money.
Well, I love that. Um, I have a couple of things I want to ask you. So the millionaire method, it says there's four areas of life that influence financial success. What are those four areas?
So the millionaire method is my system for becoming financially independent, right? Because I'm financially independent now for over 13 years. And how this system was born, I look back and I reverse engineered like what was important on my journey that allowed me to be financially independent fairly quickly. If you ask financial advisors, they may say it's impossible, but it is possible. So, four areas in my method are: number one is money mindset. You've got to develop wealth money mindset. A lot of people, especially in America, have either consumer mindset or scarcity mindset. And what I help them to develop is savvy money management mindset or wealth mindset. Okay, that's very important. So number two area in my method is you've got to manage your money intentionally. You cannot just look back on your, even if you're tracking your cash flow, you cannot just look back and say, oops, I spent too much on this, so I did that. Strategic money management or intentional money management is when you balance your financial priority. Yes, you have to have some money for lifestyle, but you also need to have some money in your emergency fund. You also have to have some money if something happens unexpectedly and you have access to some short-term savings. If you plan big investment, let's say put down payment on your house, you've got to plan for this and put money aside for that. And also, no matter what is happening right now in your life, even if you're paying off your debt, you have to think about your financial future. You have to have retirement accounts that you put percentage of your income toward different areas. I call it 4 buckets, but that's a longer conversation, right? So you have to manage your money strategically and intentionally. So that's area number 2. The pillar area, the pillar number 3 of my method is you've got to learn how to invest strategically, because a lot of people just save. They don't realize that keeping money right now in a bank means that you're losing your money because dollar is losing purchasing power. So you've got to know how to invest your money in different assets. So if one asset maybe is not performing very well, like for example, stock market or bonds right now, you're okay because you invested in other assets that appreciate. It's called asset allocation, right? So strategic investing is what I also teach. It's very, very important to be informed. Even if you want to work with financial advisor, I want you to remember this. Everybody who hears us today, please remember, nobody cares about your money more than you do. Not your bankers, not your financial advisors, and not your government, especially not your government. So, right? So make sure that you become informed consumer, that you become aware of what your money is doing on your investment or retirement accounts, right? Because so many people just say, yeah, I have 401k, but I have no idea what is the performance and what my money is invested in. That's not how you manage your money. So anyway, this is pillar number 3. And pillar number 4 is I want all my people who I come across to uh, be aware of the spiritual power. I want them to expand spiritual awareness, because we are very powerful being. And like I shared, when I tried to just focus on tactics, or maybe I should open computer school, maybe I should be a designer, I was all over the place because I was not in touch with the most important uh, power that I have within me. And when I finally got still, and because I was so overwhelmed, I just couldn't continue, running after another shiny object. When I got still and I asked right questions, what is your value? What is the most important thing for you? Suddenly, from apparently nowhere, but it's definitely was from deep inside me, the voice that came out was loud and clear: freedom. And it was always there. I was not the one who was listening. So the spiritual awareness is the 4th pillar in my method. And that's why I refer to myself as a holistic financial independence mentor, because I'm also a certified energy healer. I incorporate all the aspects of your well-being. And it starts with mindset, money management, money investing, and spirituality.
Well, that is so beautiful. And ladies, I hope you're listening. And I want to say this, you need support. A lot of times we try to do this stuff on our own without outside input or support, and so then we can stumble or we make mistakes because we're not clear, we're not being guided. So having a mentor in this level is important. So, Millen, how do people find you?
Well, the name of my business is Dare to Change Life. The name of the website is dare to change life.com. You can find a lot of free resources there because I have my YouTube channel, I have my blog, etc. But today, because I really appreciate this opportunity to talk to Cynthia, and she is so kind and generous with me, I want to offer you, your audience, great gift. It's a complimentary consultation. Never worry about money again. It's a 30 minutes consultation, normally $497. It's a completely free to uh, you if you take action on this within next couple of weeks. Because I don't know how I can uh, advise you about your best next step unless I talk to you, get to know you a little bit, get to know where you are right now, where you want to be. And that will allow me to be more accurate in terms of my suggestions for your best next step. So to get in touch with me for this consultation, go to speak with Millen.com. And Millen is, you can spell it as Millen. So speak with Millen.com. Very easy to remember. And I look forward to speaking with you and getting to know you and see how you can start or continue your journey to financial success.
Okay, ladies, you heard it. Speakwithmillen.com. This is an opportunity for you to step out of any place where you're feeling stuck or scared or there's trepidation, to have somebody who's already done this have a conversation with you. So, um, Millen, this show is called Women Awakening, and I ask the same question of every guest at the end. What is, for you, what is the most important aspect of women awakening on the planet in this moment?
I think to remember that you are more powerful than you think. You are more powerful than you think. It took me a while to get to realize that, but once I did, I became unstoppable. Everything is possible.
Beautiful. Well, Millen, thank you so much for being here, for bringing your wisdom and your incredibly beautiful, powerful story. It's inspirational. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cynthia. Appreciate you. Take care.
Okay, ladies, I say the same thing to you in a different way every week. This is the moment for you to decide to take charge of your life. This is the moment I love what she said, you're more powerful than you think. To step into that field of not knowing, into that field of uncomfortability and open to possibilities because they're there. You live in a field of possibility and potentiality. In fact, you are a manifestation of it. So I say, how about you just open up and allow freedom to be your word for the year? Thank you so much for being here. I will see you soon.